Hello Stagey fam, it is me, Aeron James.
Oh my god, hey, it's me, Mickey Joe Theatre.
And where are we off to, Mickey?
We are going to the Shed Off-Broadway in Hudson Yards, New York, New York, to see the world premiere production of the last ever musical featuring a score composed by, I was going to say Sir Stephen Sondheim, that's not accurate.
No.
Stephen Sondheim, Pulitzer Award winner, Tony Award winner, genius, icon, composer, lyricist, light of my life, big man Steve.
Yeah, I can't believe it, we're here to see it. We're all here because, for the timing wise, because it is our friend Ashley's birthday. So we're all doing a group one, I think so. That looks like the entrance to it.
What a weird little entrance.
Yeah, it feels very off-Broadway, which is fitting.
It feels like all of the viewing platforms we've been going to today.
So here we go. And here is the artwork outside of the shed for Here We Are. As you can see, book by David Ives, music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim, directed by Joe Mantello. That's the time that it's running on here until. And here are the cast. You got Francois Battiste, Tracie Bennett from the UK. We love Tracie Bennett. We sat next to her on many shows, which is really weird now that we're about to see her on stage off-Broadway. Bobby Cannavale, Micaela Diamond, Amber Gray, Jin Ha, Rachel Bay-Jones, Denis O'Hare, Stephen Pasquale, David Hyde Pierce, and Jeremy Shamos. So if you're looking that over there is where the shops are at Hudson Yards, and the vessel is up there. Then you can down, and then this is the entrance to the shed. Exciting, let's go in. When you've got this big LED screen that's saying welcome to the shed this way, and then we're heading down into the shed.
So this here is a pre-show menu for Here We Are. Let me see what I can tell you about this. We have some food options. We have popcorn, marinated olives, creamy tomato soup, hummus and crudité, gem salad, cheese and fruit selection, charcuterie, all very fancy. The special feature cocktail, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce, but it does have Cynar, Aperol, soda, prosecco and lemon. That's fancier than my tastes, clearly. And then theatre-friendly drinks. We have some canned cocktails, canned beers, some canned wine, and some sodas. Lovely. Very nice, and all the prices there as well.
So we're about to go up the escalators to the Griffin Theatre, which is where Here We Are is, so all the way up there. And you head over to the side, pick up your version of the playbill, and then take the elevator or the escalator up to the Griffin. So we're heading up. And it's basically the same size as a playbill, but obviously isn't a playbill. Here we are. We're going up the second one. I believe outside that's the High Line.
Oh yes it is.
So just casually seeing the High Line as we're heading up the escalators, aren't we, Mickey?
Yeah.
So this is number 2. And now floor 3. Then we've made it, and look, it's all decked out ready. Here we are, and then the cast is all there. No understudies on. It's that same and no photo or video of the show when it's on. It says the play, but it is a musical. And we are in. Was nice lighting up at the top. Very fun. We're about to find our seat. And we're in, and people are already out on the stage. Very, very excited. The one downside with this theatre is that if you're just needing a restroom in the interval, that's fine because it's right by the auditorium. If you want drinks, however, or anything like that, you need to go all the way back down those escalators that I showed you at the start. Which is slightly meaning you're going to have to be quick, just for even the timings of this. It's Aeron from the future saying hello. Hopefully you enjoyed what you just saw from our trip to the Shed Off-Broadway to see the final Stephen Sondheim musical Here We Are that he co-wrote with David Ives. So first, to tell you a bit more about the musical and also how you can get cheap tickets to see the show, because I feel like that's a big discussion all the time. So 2 useful ways to know to get tickets to this show are that TodayTix are doing same day rush tickets and same week lottery tickets. We're a big user of the same day rush tickets when we're in London, but it's also useful that there's a same week lottery system, so you can try and get tickets a little bit earlier than on the day. But honestly, if it's not like the top of your list to see this on your trip to New York or maybe you're in New York and it's one you're looking at, highly recommend trying these ways because it's a great way to get a cheaper ticket to see a big show. Here We Are is by Stephen Sondheim and David Ives, music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim, book by David Ives. It is based on 2 films by Luis Buñuel, The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie and The Exterminating Angel. From what I have been told by people that have seen it and have watched the films, the first act is more follow the plot of the one film, and then the second act is following the second film. In the musical you follow the same characters and they're just very like polar opposites. And for people that have this question, how much Sondheim is in this Sondheim musical, is it unfinished in some ways? Mickey Joe Theatre, who you have seen in the vlog but also is in that direction right now, Mickey's done a review all about the show so you can find out more like intricate details and what he thought on the show there. I'm going to tell you that basically, for easy reference, the first act is very much a musical where there's quite a lot of music, and then the second act, half of the act has music in it. There's music throughout, but like musical theatre music is only like in the start of Act 2. It's maybe not like traditional musical where it's ongoing songs the whole way through, but there is a lot more music than I expected to be in there. It's very difficult to explain this musical because it's very abstract. It's probably one of the most abstract and wild musicals I've seen. So I would say if you're a fan of something different, something that's very artsy, this will be for you. If you like a really kind of full art narrative or something that feels a bit more down to earth, this is not the musical for you. I will just say that right here, because it is basically set at surrealist dinner parties. It's at dinner parties where things go wild. Act 1 is all about them trying to find a place for dinner, and then Act 2 is all about they're at a dinner and they can't leave, essentially. That's kind of the plot, the arc of both acts. They're both opposites to one another. The performances were fab. I'll let you watch Mickey's review for his thoughts. I enjoyed it more than Mickey. I think that it's probably quite a Marmite show. So just before you go into it, maybe be aware that it's a bit Marmite-y. The Shed was great in terms of I really liked that modern space. The foyer was really nice. However, as you probably saw when we were going down in the interval, those escalators are a lot. If you're trying to go or get anything or get a new drink or anything like that in the interval, it's a lot. It's a long way down and a long way up, and that interval pretty much, we just made it back in time to go down, get one drink and then go back up. So a big warning, I think, is to stock up on your water, etc. at the start of the show, because that interval is not handy. I mean, the toilets are on the same floor, which is great, but just something to note is that the theatre is quite far away from the foyer, so plan for that. There is escalators the whole way up and down, so that does help with speed and not doing steps, but it wasn't fun. You know what I'm going to say, it's what shall we discuss in the comments below, and that is Sondheim musicals. What was the first musical by Sondheim you were introduced to? Did you see it in person? Did you listen to one? What was the first Sondheim musical you watched live? I'm really fascinated to know how everybody was introduced to Sondheim. For me, oddly, Merrily We Roll Along was probably one of my first ones from when I was at a summer school, and it was one that everybody had to do. Our time, so that means a lot to me, that song from that musical. And so I was really glad that we got to see it when we were in New York, and then also to see this, the final Sondheim musical. I think regardless of kind of how much you love the musical, it still was such a moment to be there and to experience that, the final one, like knowing that this is the final piece of art that he created. But overwhelming, really. For advice, if you're planning the day that you see this show, I would say maybe plan it for a day when you're going to do the High Line, or you're going to do shopping towards the end, like near Macy's, because that's all near. So you could do like the High Line up to the Shed and the Vessel, and then maybe do the shopping there and then see the show and have the meal around there. That would be a great way to plan your day if you're planning a trip to see this show on your New York trip, or you live in New York and you're trying to think of a plan to do it. That would be just my little piece of advice. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and head to Mickey's channel to watch his review. And I hope that you have a magical and stagey rest of your day. Bye! Bye! Bye!